Hi guys, I'm Ghostbazala and welcome back to my best 11 of the World Cup so far. So the 11 best players who have played in the World Cup so far. And yeah, so this is my opinion, of course. I tried to make it as personal to me as possible, so I didn't even look at stats of the players at all. I literally just stared at my World Cup war chart and tried to think what players I thought had gone well. So yeah, this is sort of a rush video because I had something else planned, but then that just didn't work at all. Of course, this isn't going to be like, I've tried to make it not as generic as possible, so I've gone for some players, you know, are the obvious ones, you know, everyone would have them in their best team, but for some players I've just gone for, you know, just gone a bit, you know, out there with my opinions, and yeah, so be aware that these are the first players that come into mind. Of course, it's not going to be as obvious as like just the best 11 highest 11 rated players on FIFA or something like that. But yeah, let's just get into the team and who I think has done well. And first up, we have the Iranian goalkeeper Ali Reza Behrenvand, and yeah, he's tall is the first thing I can say about him. He's very tall, and he just looks so confident in goal, you know, and also you've seen Iran's defensive record before the tournament. I know this is about the World Cup, but of course he is a big part of that, and he's broken into the team, and yeah, he just looks, have you seen his long throw? It's so, he can throw the ball so far, which is very good for a goalkeeper. It's slightly irrelevant, but he of course saved the penalty in the last game, which got him a lot of publicity, but even in the other two games he was very good. The only two goals he conceded were not his fault at all. Quaresma with a crazy, that's my personal goal of the tournament for me, Quaresma's goal, and unlucky Diego Costa rebound, and he's just been so assured in goal. I'd be very surprised not if he didn't move to a bigger club in Europe or a bigger club in Asia, like into the Saudi Arabian League or somewhere like that, because he just looks so confident, and he's very young as well. He's only 25, so I could see a lot of potential for him at the next World Cup as well. He won't get the Golden Glove, of course, because Iran are already out, unfortunately, but yeah, he's definitely played well. And now we move on to the defence, and maybe I'm biased on this one, but in fact I'm probably biased on a lot of these players, but I've gone for Yuto Nagatomo at left back, and I honestly believe he has been the best left back at the tournament so far. He's been attacking so well and defending brilliantly too. He completely stopped Ismail Assar from getting into the game. Of course, both of Senegal's goals in that 2-2 game were scored where it came from the left side, so Nagatomo really helped just block the right side, and Sarr and potentially Niang as well, which was very crucial in that game and helped them get the draw. And of course he's been an attacking force too. Him and Inui just work together so well, and Nagatomo has been brilliant, and he is 31, which is a disadvantage. He might be coming to the Premier League though, so which would be very exciting. He's a very good player, and unfortunately his hair colour choice is slightly misguided, but there you go, you can't have everything. He's been solid this tournament, and I think the best left back. That isn't just a weird pick from me. I believe that he is the best left back, full stop, at this tournament. And we move on to centre backs, and first of all we have the Uruguayan rock, Diego Godin. I think this one is also pretty uncontested. He's been amazing. Uruguay have conceded no goals, and this is basically due to Godin and the fact that Uruguay just play defensively as a whole. But Godin has been very good, and in this Egypt game you could see he's a real leader. He brings the team together, and honestly I think he's been the best. For me, he's been the best player at the tournament so far from what I've seen of him. He's just so assured at absolutely everything, and there's a reason why Uruguay haven't conceded any goals yet, and it's because of him. And yeah, so I think because of that, Uruguay will go far in the competition. I reckon they could get to the semis and maybe even the final, just because of how defensive they are, and because they have probably the best centre-back in the world on their team at the moment. And next up, we have another potentially biased suggestion. In fact, 2 biased suggestions in a row with John Stones, and admittedly, he hasn't had too much to do, but he has scored 2 goals, which basically just sets him in this position. Really, I'd be happy with him in my team if I was. Well, I mean, he's already at Manchester City, so I don't really have. But he's really come on a lot in the past few years. I believe he should start over Company next season at City, and there wasn't too many, from what I was thinking, there weren't too many options at centre-back. Maybe I'm missing something big, but it's probably better to have John Stones than Granqvist, who I was thinking of, and Lovren as well. So yeah, there's not, or Pepe, and then we saw what Pepe did against Morocco. So I just went for Stones, because I believe that, well, we haven't really seen him tested defensively, so we can't say that he's bad yet, so why not put him in the squad? And anyway, on to the right back. I'm going to speed up a bit. We have Kieran Trippier, again, no contest with this one. He's been by far the best right back that I've seen at the tournament. He's so good at everything. Like, he defends really well. I mean, we haven't seen, again, like Stones, we haven't seen him tested too much defensively, but his crosses are absolutely perfect every single time. He's fast, and his corners are perfect, and like, there's no way he's going to get pushed out the team at all, and he could be crucial for the coming games, and we'll have to see how well he performs against Belgium. So yeah, oh yeah, that's one thing to say. I am doing this 11 midway through the tournament, so I'm sorry if like someone like John Stones has had an absolute nightmare. This might come back to hurt me a bit actually, but hopefully that's not the case. And next up we have again another uncontested position for me. Maybe there's been a couple as good as him, but we have Irving Lozano at left mid, and yeah, so he's just been great, and he's the sort of midfielder who I would really used to like playing with on FIFA. You know, FIFA 15, I had Aubameyang who could cut in from the wing and just score easily, and Lozano's that sort of winger, really. He's right-footed, so he can cut in easily, and the way Mexico play, it just suits him really well, and he just looks so confident on the ball and just in everything in general. I'm almost certain that Mexico will go through, and Lozano could well become player of the tournament if Mexico have a brilliant run, and Lozano has been very good. And people are talking about Mexico getting to the final. I'm not sure about that. I think they'll get to the quarters. Next up, we have a slightly. He's a good player, but I haven't heard him talked about this much this tournament. But I think he's been great. He's Kevin De Bruyne. Again, I'm slightly biased because I support Man City, but for me, De Bruyne is one of the best players in the world, and he's just proved it again at this tournament with some great assists. The one for Lukaku, where he just was it Lukaku? I'm trying to think. The one for, there was a good assist in the game against Panama where he did a good chip over, and it was unreal. And then the one for Hazard against the assist for Hazard against Tunisia was perfectly placed, and you just knew Hazard was going to score no matter what happened. So he's just proving that he can perform on the international stage too. Maybe he's not deserving of the centre mid spot, but I would definitely say that he is, because whenever you see him do one of the passes like that, you just think, how is that possible? And the only player who I think can do passes like that at the moment in this World Cup is a certain James Rodriguez, but unfortunately he was out the first game. But I would definitely put James in if I had the chance. And yes, at the other centre mid spot we have the Croatian midfielder Luka Modrić, and he's just gone from strength to strength for this World Cup, probably his last one, but he scored a brilliant goal with that long shot against Argentina, putting Croatia through. And I didn't see the Croatia versus Iceland game, but I'm sure he was good in that. But I did watch Croatia versus, what was the first game? I did watch a bit of Croatia versus Nigeria, and he was very good in that as well. He just owns the midfield so much. And yeah, I reckon that he's rivaling people like Busquets for like the best midfielder at the moment, and Kroos as well. Oh yeah, no Germans in this team. Well, I mean, that's pretty obvious to be honest. But yeah, it was also spoilers. But I mean, there's not too many places left, and none of them would go to German players. And yeah, next up we have the Swiss Ronaldo, as I like to call him, Xherdan Shaqiri. He's one of my personal favourites from a long time ago because I bought him on a career mode once. But Xherdan Shaqiri always seems to play well in World Cups. This is his third tournament. I was surprised to know that, but this is his third World Cup. And yeah, he scored a hat-trick in the last one, and he's been good in this one. Played very well against Brazil, and you just don't know what he's going to do. He can pull goals out of nowhere. He's like I think I would honestly like him at Man City. I think he'd fit in very well just as a sub, you know, and then he'd just score out of nowhere, which would be brilliant. Maybe his ego is slightly big, and the eagle celebration was a bit, you know, bit stupid. But he's definitely played well, and I don't care what you do for your celebration if you play well. And he's in my team because he plays well, not because he's a political nightmare. Yeah. And again, the third English player in the team at striker, I'm definitely biased, is Harry Kane. But this one's pretty obvious. Maybe the other two were. Well, I mean, Trippier's obvious as well. Maybe Stones was a bit crazy, but Harry Kane should definitely be in the team. 5 goals. Okay, 2 penalties, but those 2 headers against Tunisia were very good, especially the second one. Oh, it wasn't a header. The second header against Tunisia was very good. Like, it takes a lot more skill than you'd think to head the ball in that way, and of course, Kane's third goal against Panama was amazing. The best goal I've seen for a while, you know, with a totally intentional no-look flick into the goal. But yeah, he's just in the right place at the right time, and England seem to really get behind him, and like they seem so pleased when they score, like England. So I'm really hopeful that they'll go far in this tournament. Slightly off topic, but I really believe that they will do well. And finally, we're on to probably the strangest pick of the team, and yeah, so let's just go, and it's Mbaye Niang. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I really did not want to put Ronaldo at striker just because I thought that was obvious and he had a bad game, and didn't want to put Messi there or Lukaku, because Lukaku is like, if you see the stats of Lukaku, he's run the least. He's run the third least out of anyone in the competition. Like, apart from, yeah, well, like, yeah, no, he's run third least out of anyone in the competition. It's just absolutely crazy. So, just because of his work rate and the fact that it doesn't really help the team that much, I decided to leave Lukaku out, and I decided to put in someone. Sometimes you just have to admire those who you dislike, and that's why I put Mbaye Niang in the team. The reason I don't like him is because he always scores against me on FIFA, and yeah, and he almost, and you know, the goal against Poland, that's exactly the sort of goal that he would score against me on FIFA, just running halfway up the pitch, and my defenders wouldn't be able to touch him. But he does that in real life too. He's had a couple of hard years with his club football, but I believe he can come back and play strongly in the future, and from what I've seen, he looks like he would be a good fit for a mid-tier Premier League club, and then he could progress forward. And for me, he looks very good. And again, that was slightly a strange pick, but yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you agree with my team. If you don't, leave a comment saying who you think should be in the team, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new, but you've probably already gone by this point. But yeah, I'll be doing a Inui video soon because he's got a special card in FIFA again, and yeah, so I'll see you next time.